Your Hall of Famer and undefeated fighter, former fighter Andre Ward checks Eddie Hearn on behalf of a fighter he manages, Shakur Stevenson, and I'm going to explain what went on. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. If you want to become part of the gang, notification gang, please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the Super Chats, channel donations, the Venmo donations, the Cash App, and the Patreon family. We working. Now, speaking of Patreon, head over to the Patreon. I revamped it. We got content. I'm shifting over there to the Patreon and also for YouTube channel members. So it's part of the extended Egos Army. And if you want to support the channel, that's a great way to do it. Another way is to click on the link in the description. Get the ESPN Plus bundle. That's what we're pushing right now. It's ESPN Plus, Hulu, and Disney Plus. All three apps, $12.99 a month. And it does go to help the channel in a phenomenal way when you guys click on that link. Now, Shakur Stevenson, he's hungry. He's one of the young fighters. He was a champion. He said he's moving up to 130. And he's been trying to fight Josh Warrington, Oscar Valdez, and top names. You know, it's not enough that he fought Joet Gonzalez and got the title. You know, he's calling out the big names. And this is what he put. Shakur Stevenson says, I can't get Josh Warrington next. Eddie Hearn and Warrington decided they rather fight an interim champion with 2 losses instead of unifying his belts with me. Right? Eddie Hearn responded to Shakur and says, you turned down what we and your promoter felt was a very solid offer. So he's saying Shakur Stevenson turned it down, right? And Andre Ward jumped in the mix because him and Jay Prince manage young Shakur Stevenson. And this is what Andre Ward said. You know how the game goes, Eddie. Just because you believe an offer is, quote, very solid, doesn't mean the fighter or his management have to agree. We are not after, quote, solid. Shakur deserves better than solid if he is going across any pond. Hope you and your family are well. Boom. See, the thing I like about Andre Ward is he's a true connoisseur and master boxer, but he's also professional and eloquent. You know, he doesn't have to, just go crazy. He handles things in a professional way, and he does it the SOG way. He stays by his convictions, and, he don't have to make a fool of himself or anything to get his point across. But I like this response to Eddie Hearn, and, what he's saying is right. He's saying just because you as a promoter, you think this is, a good deal, such a good deal. And I don't mean it's solid to us, Jay Prince, me, and his team. So I don't know what Eddie Hearn was talking about. I guess Top Rank, because Top Rank is his promoter. He says, you turned down what we and your promoter felt was a very solid offer. So, I have to side with Shakur Stevenson in this occasion because just based on the eye test and what we've seen, Shakur Stevenson looks a lot more willing to step up and keep fighting the big names. Like, I literally seen Josh Warrington. I have it saved on my computer somewhere. Shakur Stevenson called him out, and Josh Warrington was trying to play. This is a while ago, before any negotiations or whatever. Shakur had basically called him out. I don't even know if Shakur was a champion yet. I don't know if that fight had happened. But anyway, Shakur Stevenson had called Josh Warrington out, and he said, oh, you need to get you a belt and get your brand up, and just a bunch of cockamamie stuff that we know is fighter talk to get out of a fight and not have to face that person. When you're a true competitor and it's a fight with an Olympian like Shakur Stevenson, he has a great backing with Jay Prince and with Andre Ward and with Top Rank. People know who he is. People are checking for him. He's young. He's skillful. I mean, he showed you all these things. I was at his fight. I got credentials for his fight in Reno, and the kid is bad. And he's only learning, only coming into his man strength and physique and stuff like that. And, he wants it. I think Shakur Stevenson, this is just my opinion, he didn't say it or nothing, but I think Shakur Stevenson, he was real salty when he, got a silver medal. He trained his whole life for the Olympics, got there, and he wanted to get gold. One of his favorite fighters is actually the person who is representing him, which is Andre Ward, who achieved Olympic gold. So I think, that's big bro, got an Olympic gold medal. You want to be part of that family too. So now Shakur Stevenson, the Olympics is over. You've seen how he took it emotionally and he was crying after the Olympics. But now that that chapter is over, I think he's trying to make this a legacy chapter. And since he didn't achieve gold, he's trying to more than make up for it as a pro, if that makes any sense. Just like Roy Jones, just like Floyd Mayweather, they didn't get Olympic gold. They were robbed. Shakur's fight was close, but Floyd dedicated his craft and honed his skill. He said, all right, it's time for me to turn pro. I did all I could do in the amateurs. So I think that's kind of Shakur Stevenson's lane. He wants to prove himself and show his development and things like that in the pro rankings, since he kind of didn't get the gold medal. So, he's making this next chapter his best chapter. And I ain't mad at that. Young, scrappy kid with skills who's representing America well. Young, black, rich. Okay. Says this fight needs to happen next. I'm a champ. You're a champ. What is it, champ? And then he tagged him. So, this was posted November 7th. See? So he's been pressing the button and trying to get that. And Josh Warrington don't seem like he really want no parts of it. He, like I said, he said, go get a belt. And, if you do this first, then maybe I'll talk to you, try to little boy him like Josh Warrington. He's not even relevant, truth be told. I'm just being real. But he's not irrelevant in America. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, it don't make sense. And I agree with Andre Ward. Shout out to SOG. I agree with him as well. And Jay Prince didn't say nothing, but he's part of Shakur's team. So I agree with Shakur Stevenson's management team. If Shakur Stevenson is fighting abroad and going to the UK to fight a champion in a unification, then guess what? You got to pay like you weigh. Errol Spence, I'm sure, got good money to go fight Kell Brook in Sheffield. Eddie Hearn was involved in that, So you got to make it worth these kids wild, because it's not even about being fearful, because I think in my heart of all hearts, Shakur Stevenson would beat Josh Warrington, but that remains to be seen. They got to fight. But what I do believe is Shakur Stevenson believes that he will beat Josh Warrington or whoever in or around his division. So he has that belief. So I definitely don't think Shakur Stevenson is ducking no smoke with Josh Warrington. But at the same time, it's 2020. Fighters are smarter than ever. Fighters are being represented different. Some are representing themselves. And Floyd Mayweather kind of showed you the blueprint that the boxing side is cool, but being taken care of and your family taken care of and making these corporations and companies pay and making the fans pay, that's the golden way. That's the American dream. So these fighters are smart, and that's what it comes down to. You see people like Eddie Hearn, he wants Shakur Stevenson's talent level, right? And he wants to put a fight on DAZN or, whatever, because that's another thing they would have to discuss. Would this be on DAZN? Would it be on ESPN? Stuff like that. But you want Shakur Stevenson to lend his brand to your promotion and go over to the UK. Like I said, it's not even about being afraid of the fight in this situation, I don't think. But you got to worry about referees. Like when Eddie Hearn, whoever they got for Anthony Joshua versus Joseph Parker was horrible. That referee was horrible. And then I heard Joseph Parker later said that the guy didn't even speak English, so nobody knew the ref instructions, but he wouldn't let Joseph Parker scrap. So Shakur Stevenson fighting abroad, fighting across the pond, he would have to worry about those things. Things like a referee being bad. Like, let's say he doesn't get a knockout. Then if it's close, then are the judges going to see it his way? The visitor, the guy who's on foreign land, is the ref going to be fair? Like, let's say Shakur got hurt because Carl Frampton says Josh Warrington has some sneaky power. I'm just spitballing. So let's say Shakur got hurt. Would they prematurely stop it just to pull it into it? You know what I'm saying? When it really shouldn't have been stopped. You got to worry about all those types of things in boxing. So at the end of the day, you got to pay like you weigh. That's just what it is. And I think Shakur Stevenson is worth it. He's a young, promising star. He's dedicated. He's in shape. He's not missing weight. He's focused. And he said he's moving up to 130. It's probably because he can't get guys like Josh Warrington in the ring. He sparred with this man you see on the screen, Terrence Crawford, stuff like that. I mean, the kid is ready. Shakur Stevenson, he has a good backing. He's real focused. So, you know, you want to fight with him, make it make sense. That's it. The numbers got to line up. But ultimately, in my heart of all hearts, I believe that Eddie Hearn knows that Josh Warrington stands a strong chance to lose to the African-American Shakur Stevenson from Newark, New Jersey. So there's little things you can do to, oh, wow, he sparred with you guys. That's my dude. Shout out to you guys. He gets scrapped. But anyway, there's little things you can do, like, you know how fighters price themselves out, or a promoter like Eddie Hearn lowball Deontay Wilder, knowing he wasn't going to take that first offer, you know, stuff like that. So not have a real dedication to trying to make the fight, like give up on negotiations. If you really wanted to make this fight, you can, you know, that's the whole purpose of negotiating. We offer you this. Shakur's team said, nah, I'm traveling to the UK. I'm going to need more than that. What else can you do for me? You know, you don't just give up and let the negotiation fall apart, you know. And now people probably blame the pandemic and say, oh, this is why the negotiation ain't happening. But ultimately, Shakur Stevenson is going to have to keep working on his brand and things like that, because he's a huge threat. He's skilled, and, you know, just the same path of Errol Spence and guys like that. This is what you have to do. You know, we always see it with black fighters too. This is what you have to do. You know, Afro-Cuban fighters like Guillermo Rigondeaux. This is what you have to do. Just keep knocking down doors and, you know, knocking on doors and make those opportunities come to you. Just keep mashing. It's like Marshawn Lynch said, I'm from the Bay, bro. And it's like Marshawn Lynch said, he said, I just realized if you keep running and keep running through a motherfucker and running and running and running, you just run through somebody, because, you know, ain't nobody want to deal with that. He was talking about how he's such a powerhouse running back. And that's true. That's how success is. If you just keep running forward, things get in your way, running forward, running past it, you know, and dealing with it, life is going to get out your way. You know, life ain't going to stand in the way of all that aggression and energy towards your goals. So that's really what Shakur Stevenson got to do. You know, just keep building his brand and, you know, keep coming up. Oh, what does this say? Oh, he retweeted at Warren. Okay, Eddie Hearn responded. Okay, so I didn't see his response. So you guys didn't agree that the offer was solid, but you didn't get one, right? Oh. See, this is Eddie Hearn does that posh British stuff where he'll, to try to prove a point. You know, Donald Trump does this too. Eddie Hearn is similar to Donald Trump in some regards. But anyway, he tries to do that posh British stuff like, oh, so you didn't get it, or, you know, like try to chastise you and condescend you and stuff like that. But none of whatever Andre Ward said, you failed to address any of it. You see what I'm saying? That's how people, it's deflection and diversion tactics. That's exactly what Trump does. Like, somebody will accuse Trump of X, Y, and Z, and he won't really defend himself out of that situation or accusation, but he'll say, oh, how many people passed away from the Rona, you know, and tried to divert you and take you on one, and the bottom line is, at the end of all this talking and all this rebuttal, you've really rebutted nothing. You have not actually answered the question. You have not actually addressed what was presented. Andre Ward just said, we're not after solid. Shakur Stevenson, if he's going to the UK, you got to pay. You know what I'm saying? You got to make it make sense. And then Eddie Hearn's only response is some kid emojis, and so you guys didn't agree that the offer was solid. So you guys, I think he messed up. So you guys didn't agree that the offer was solid, but you didn't get one, right? Oh, okay. I don't know. But like I said, they're saying, what Andre Ward said was very direct. Make it make sense. Make the numbers make sense. So I don't know anyone that says the no offer. Hold on. What is going on? There's more to it. I'm trying to read it as I do. Okay, I'll just read it out loud. You haven't made any offer to me or my team once again, and according to what you was saying, you have more money than Frank Warren, so this shouldn't be a problem if you guys really wanted the best available fight for Josh Warrington and a real unification. Just tell them the truth, Ed. I like Shakur. He said, tell the truth. Tell the truth. Oh gosh. Understand you have to agree to it. I'm not calling you out for not accepting it. I'm responding to a fighter who is calling Josh and I out saying we didn't want the fight when we were the only ones making offers, and the ones that we and his SS promoter felt were acceptable. Stay well. Speak to your promoters. I don't make offers to you and your management. You've had offers from Josh Warrington's previous and current promoters. It's up to you what to accept, no problem. But don't say Josh Warrington or us don't want it. If your team wanted it so bad, why is it only our side making offers? That's a funny gift. Listen, all right, I'm gonna say it like this. Has anyone ever noticed that Eddie Hearn is like, he's always alleging that his side is making all the offers and all the offers in boxing, and oh look, I got the email, but none of this is happening. He's like, oh, Charlo, look, I got the Charlo email. Charlo was on my live stream. Charlo for Andre, we made him an offer. We made him a strong offer, but it's not happening. Like, why? And it's not just Al Heyman, so you can't just say, oh, that's because it's Heyman, because this is a top ranked fighter we're talking about now. Eddie Hearn it's almost like the used car salesman approach, whereas I don't know if is the delivery, like, you know, people just like his personality or something, but there's a lot of what he's saying that is not being delivered. That's my whole point. I am delivered. There's a lot that is not being delivered. Like, for example, I just gave you one. He'll say, oh, we want Charlo for Andre, Charlo for Andre, Charlo for Andre. Doesn't happen. You know, then he'll say, you know, oh, we really wanted Wilder. Doesn't happen. We want Dillian White and Wilder. Doesn't happen. We want Dillian White and Andy Ruiz next, fighting Povetkin, you know, before the pandemic was announced. And now he's trying to save face and say that Josh Warrington wants to fight. You know, why don't Josh Warrington come out to America? You know, why come out to America? But nonetheless, I don't know. I'm not going to spend too much more time on it, because I don't even know when boxing will come back or what they're going to do, closed doors sessions and all this stuff. So I don't know if anybody will be traveling anywhere anytime soon for boxing or other, you know. So we'll have to see how it all plays out. Let me know what you guys think. If you love what I'm doing, smash the like button, head over to the Patreon, hit the join button, click on the ESPN link. You know, at the end of the day, we working, pandemic or not. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.